scholars, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up of what's going to come up over the next few weeks so you can start preparing. First of all, we're entering week 5, and so you can see we're going to cover 2 chapters this week. Chapter 12, we'll talk about supporting material, both verbal support material and visual support material for your speeches. And then chapter 14 looks at writing and communication in the business world, both very valuable chapters. But I want to look ahead at week 6. You'll notice that there's something a little different that's coming up. Your outline for your next speech is actually going to be due on February the 24th. So in order to get a good feel as to what's expected, it might be good to go ahead and read what the speech is about. Well, this speech, The Influence on My Field, can be found in week 7 module. So let's open that up and look at it very quickly. First of all, you're going to be researching, organizing, and delivering a 3 to 5 minute speech about a person, a place, a thing, or an idea that has influenced your field of study, your major, your career field. And so you get to choose, of course, what your career field is. If you're undecided, then choose something that interests you that you might explore. So I give you an example here. My field of study is communication. And so if I were doing this speech, I could do a whole speech over how a person like Aristotle influenced my field. So I could give a 3 to 5 minute speech about the influence of Aristotle on the field of communication. Or I could look at a particular place and talk about how that place has influenced communication. For instance, I might choose Speaker Corner in London, which is a small area in Hyde Park where people go and literally just give speeches to whoever will listen. Another example or thing that you could do is talk about a particular thing that's influenced your field. In my instance, the microphone changed the way speeches could be delivered, it widened the audience. I could also choose something like radio or television. And so this is a thing, or these are things that have influenced my field of study. And then the last option that you have is that you could talk about an idea that influenced your field. And so in my instance, an example would be the style of elocution, which is just a very floral, stylized way of speaking that was very popular in the 19th century. And so don't try to cover all of these things. Just pick one. Just pick a person that influenced your field, or a thing, or a place, or an idea, and then craft your speech around that particular aspect. So, you will need to cite at least 2 credible sources in your speech. A credible source is a source that is presenting information in an unbiased way. We know who the source is and why they're credible on the topic. There's a good discussion about that in Chapter 11. And when you cite a source in a speech for me, or any speech, you want to make sure that you're verbally citing the source at the same time that you're giving the information. So, for instance, you might say something like, according to the American Heart Association, in order to sustain a heart-healthy diet, people should eat 3 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. All right. So you're saying the name of the source at the same time that you're giving the information from that source. Do not cite your sources at the end of a presentation or put them on a slide. I don't like that. We need to know where your information comes from, and the easiest way to do that is to hear it while you're sharing the information. You'll be wanting to organize your speech in an outline format. An outline is basically a blueprint of what your speech is going to look like. And an outline should include an introduction, 2 to 3 main points, and a conclusion. You're going to follow the outline format found in this page. There's a really great sample. There's step-by-step instructions. There's even a little video of me talking about outlining. At the end of your outline, you're going to include a list of your sources in a APA or MLA Works Cited or bibliography page. If you don't know how to do that, just Google how to put sources in APA or MLA, and you'll be able to find some great resources for that. Of course, you can always contact me and I'll help you. So this outline portion is actually what's going to be due during week 6, but it's described within this assignment, and so you'll just want to make sure that you understand what the assignment's about so you can make the outline for it. Also, as a part of this assignment, you'll be creating a PowerPoint to show as a visual aid during your speech. And so here's a link that talks about how to create and present visual aids. Since we're doing these speeches from your home or from a place that may not be equipped with a big projector like you might have in a classroom, it's perfectly acceptable that you set your laptop beside you facing the audience so they can see your screen. And then you'll be attaching your PowerPoint to your discussion post when you turn in your assignment. You'll use speaker notes to deliver this speech, so your outline will be full sentence, and then you'll bump that down to abbreviated speaker notes. All of that's explained in this page. And then, of course, you need to complete this assignment by following the recording requirements, just like you did in the test speech. And so you need to have a certain number of audience members. You need to record the speech in an appropriate location. You need to upload the speech in a particular way. And so these requirements are here for your reference. So you'll be posting your speech by the Thursday that this is due. Let me see when it is due. It's due March the 1st. And so you've got 2 weeks, I believe, several weeks. And then you're going to be doing a peer review, basically choosing some classmates' speeches to watch, or in this instance, just one classmate. You watch their speech and you give them a little peer review reply. And here are some instructions on that. The peer reviews do that following Saturday. So though this is a few weeks away, I do want you to start thinking about it, because next week the outline for this is going to be due. And so if we look at that assignment, you understand that you need to read the original speech assignment. There it is. We just looked at it together. And then this gives you some directions for what to include in your outline. This particular page, I'll go ahead and open it for you, will give you step-by-step instructions on how to create a speech outline. Here's a sample outline, and then here's a video of me giving a lecture about the difference between outlines and speaker notes. And so I won't take the time in this video to talk about that. So back to the outline assignment. You'll create this in a Word or PDF and upload it to this page. Your page will look a little different. You'll have a submit button instead of a publish button. And you'll just hit submit, and then you'll attach your PDF or Word document which contains your outline. I like to see your outline the week before you give this speech because it gives me an indication of how strong your speech will be. There's a direct relationship between the success of your outline and the success of your actual speech. The outline is your plan. If you have a weak plan, you're going to have a weak speech. And so even though we're not getting into this outline until next week, I do want you to keep it in mind because we just completed Chapter 11, in which you should have learned a little bit about how to organize and arrange a speech. It had sample outlines there in that chapter, I believe. And so now that that's fresh on our mind, it would be good to start thinking about this upcoming assignment. So week 5, back on track. We're just doing 2 chapters this week, but I would highly encourage you to start thinking about completing this outline a little bit early because this is going to take some time. It's not something you can throw together at the last minute and do well. And so feel free to work ahead if that would be helpful to you. And then we look forward to you delivering these speeches and posting them by the 1st of March. All right, so I looked ahead 3 weeks, right? So don't get confused about due dates. Always double check due dates when things are due, and that will be helpful to you. Make sure that you do look ahead, though, so nothing sneaks up on you. And we're just moving right along. So I hope everything is going smoothly for you in the class. We're in a kind of a habit right now where we're just covering chapters and the quizzes for those chapters, but realize that there's new things on the horizon. So look ahead. All right, if I can help in any way, just let me know, and have a great week. Thanks.